Hello everyone, welcome to Home Cooking with me Hema Subramanian. So today I'm going to share some nice compilation of recipes with you guys. We're almost at the end of the year and I'm sure all of you are celebrating this year end with friends and family and having get-togethers and dinners and parties. So I've put together a few recipes that you could try at home, starting right from starters all the way to desserts. So why wait, let's get started and check it out. So for the Kolkata style egg roll, first we're going to make the base, that is the paratha. For this I've taken 2 cups of Maida or all-purpose flour. Next add half teaspoon of salt. Add half teaspoon sugar. Just mix it. Add about 2 teaspoons of ghee. Mix that in. So you can also use oil if you want instead of ghee. So now I'm going to gradually pour water to knead the dough. Knead the dough for about 5 minutes till it's nice and smooth. So you can see the dough is nice and smooth. Just add a little ghee. Rub it all over the dough ball. Close it and let it sit for about 30 minutes. So for the filling, I've taken 1 large onion thinly sliced, 1 large cucumber, remove the seeds and cut into thin pieces, 1 medium green chilli thinly sliced, a few chopped coriander leaves. Now I'm going to add all the spice powders, starting with 1/4 teaspoon salt, half teaspoon red chilli powder, half teaspoon cumin powder, and half teaspoon chaat masala powder. So just mix everything. Squeeze the juice of half lemon. Just give it a quick mix. Now the vegetables for the filling are ready. Just keep this aside. To this add about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon pepper. Just whisk this. Keep this aside. So after 30 minutes the dough is ready. Now divide this into equal size balls. Roll it out nice and thin. Once you've rolled it out nice and thin, just fold it into small pleats like this. Roll it in. Just brush some ghee all over. Keep this aside. Roll out the folded dough balls. Heat the tawa. Place the rolled out paratha on the tawa. Cook on both sides till you get a lovely golden color. Apply some ghee on both sides. Once the paratha is cooked, remove it and keep it aside. Next, take a pan, add a little oil. Take a little of the egg mixture, pour it into the pan. Place the cooked paratha Once the egg is cooked on one side, flip it to the other side. Remove the paratha and keep it aside. Now we are going to make the egg rolls. For this, place the egg paratha, add a little bit of the onion cucumber salad, sprinkle some chaat masala, and also add a little tomato ketchup on top. Now roll the egg paratha from one side, make sure it's nice and tight. So wrap it in a butter paper and serve it immediately. To make the white sauce pasta, boil some water in a saucepan. So I am taking 1.5 cups of macaroni shells for this recipe. Add half teaspoon of salt. Cook the shells completely. Once the macaroni is cooked, strain it and keep it aside. Take a nice wide pan, add 1 tablespoon of butter, just a little oil, maybe about 1 teaspoon. So I am going to saute a few vegetables, starting with 1 medium sized onion finely chopped. Next, add 5 large cloves of garlic chopped. Saute the onions and garlic for about a minute. Once the onions are transparent, add the capsicum. So I have taken 3 different colors of capsicum here. So you can use other vegetables like sweet corn, you can also use carrots if you like. Season the vegetables with half teaspoon salt, half teaspoon pepper, 1 teaspoon red chili flakes, 1 teaspoon Italian seasoning, mixed herbs, mix everything. So I'm just going to toss in the cooked macaroni. So this is a very quick and easy lunch that you can prepare once you have all the vegetables and the ingredients. It's very quick to put together. I'm sure everyone at home will enjoy this. It's a meal by itself, this white sauce macaroni. Now that we've seasoned the vegetables and the macaroni, turn off the stove and keep this aside. Take a wide saucepan, add about 1.5 tablespoons of butter. Once the butter is melted, add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, that is Maida. So we're going to first cook the flour in the butter. To this I'm going to add 1.5 cups of milk. So make sure you whisk it as you add the milk. Keep the flame on medium low. So we're going to slow cook it. So I'm going to add all the seasoning for the sauce. 1/4 teaspoon salt, half teaspoon pepper, half teaspoon chili flakes, half teaspoon mixed herbs. Keep the flame on medium and let the sauce thicken. So you can see the sauce thickening beautifully. So I'm just going to make it a little more rich by adding 2 slices of cheese. So the white sauce is almost ready. You can check for seasoning, and if you need to add anything, you can add at this point. So you can see the sauce has come together so beautifully. It's got this lovely thick and creamy texture. Now I'm going to add the cooked macaroni into the sauce. So if you feel the sauce is too thick, you can always add 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk to get the right consistency. So you can see it's so rich and creamy. The sauce looks absolutely wonderful. this recipe, I've taken about 400 grams of paneer. I'm just going to cut it into large cubes. So I've also made a recipe as to how to make homemade paneer, so you can make this at home as well. I'll give the link in the description, you can go check it out. For this particular recipe, it's better you cut into large cubes. So you can see it's a nice size cube, it's not too small or too large, it's a good bite size. So next I'm going to season the paneer with a few spice powders. So first I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. So you can adjust the salt according to your taste and depending on the quantity of paneer you're using. Next, add 2 to 3 teaspoons of chilli powder. Again, those of you who like it nice and spicy, you can add extra spoon. So I'm just adding about 2.5 teaspoons, just enough to coat the paneer pieces. 1 teaspoon cumin powder, half teaspoon turmeric powder, and 1 teaspoon garam masala powder. So it's easier to mix it with your hand, so that way all the paneer pieces will be coated well with the spice powders. So this is a very quick and easy starter recipe that you can make. It's an excellent source of protein, paneer. It also is a great weight loss recipe. Those of you who love to eat a nice heavy protein meal, this is something that I make at home regularly. And it's very, very tasty. Trust me, it's extremely tasty. So there you go. Now that it's all coated well, I'm going to let this sit for about 15 minutes. So while the paneer pieces are sitting in the marinade, I'm just going to quickly make some coriander mint chutney as a dip. So for the coriander mint chutney, take a nice whole cup of coriander leaves and 1 cup of mint leaves. Next to this, I'm going to add a small piece of onion, small piece of ginger, 2 cloves of garlic, 3 medium-sized green chilies. Now, if you don't like it this spicy, you can cut down on the green chilies. The juice of 1 small lemon, 1/4 teaspoon salt, you can add about 2 teaspoons of water and grind the chutney to a nice fine paste. So the coriander mint chutney is done. Remove it and keep it aside. To the pan, add 2 teaspoons of ghee. So I'm using ghee specifically for this recipe. I recommend that instead of oil or butter. So I suggest you use ghee for this recipe, and it's also healthy. Keep the flame on medium and just roast on all the sides. Just flip it on all sides and make sure it's just roasted. It won't take too long, maybe just about a minute or 2 on each side will be enough. So once you've roasted the paneer on all sides, remove it from the pan. And you can serve it nice and hot with some nice mint and coriander chutney by the side. For this recipe, I've taken 1 cup of long grain basmati rice. This is a 250 ml cup. Wash it a few times and soak it for about 30 minutes. For the biryani, first I'm going to make a masala paste. To the mixer jar, add 3 large cloves of garlic chopped, 1 piece of ginger chopped, 2 green chilies chopped, 1 tablespoon freshly grated coconut, 1 tablespoon chili paste. This is red chili paste. Add a few mint leaves, add a few coriander leaves. add about 2 teaspoons of water and grind the masala into a nice fine paste. For the mushroom biryani, I have taken 400 grams of fresh mushrooms. Make sure you wash it nice and clean a few times and then slice it into big pieces. Now I have not sliced it too thin. Make sure the pieces are a bit thick because when you cook it, it can easily get mashed up. So make sure the pieces are a little bigger than usual. To the pressure cooker, add about 2 tablespoons of ghee. Next, add about 1 tablespoon of oil. Once the ghee is heated up, add all the whole spices. I have a piece of cinnamon, a few cloves, cardamom, star anise and bay leaf. Next, add 3 medium-sized onions finely chopped. So you can see the onions have turned to a lovely golden brown color. Now add the ground masala paste. So after about 2 minutes, add 3 large tomatoes chopped. After about 2 to 3 minutes, add 1 teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon coriander powder, add the sliced mushrooms, mix it all in. So the most important thing to remember while cooking with mushrooms is make sure they are nice and fresh. So you don't want any dark spots or any sort of smell coming from the mushrooms. So if you feel it seems a little odd, don't cook it, just throw it away. Next, add a handful of fresh mint leaves, a handful of fresh coriander leaves. Just mix it all in. The basmati rice has been soaking for 30 minutes. Transfer the rice to the pressure cooker. Gently mix it in. So before you add the rice, check for seasoning, and if you need to add any salt at this point, you can add it. So gently mix the rice in. You don't want to break it, so just be careful. Next, add 1 cup of water. So for this recipe, for 1 cup of rice, I have used 1 cup of water. Keeping the flame on low. Close the pressure cooker. So you can see once the steam comes, place the weight. Cook for 5 minutes after placing the weight. After 5 minutes, turn off the stove and keep the pressure cooker aside. Once the steam settles down, open the pressure cooker after 5 minutes. Wow, the mushroom biryani looks absolutely fantastic. It's cooked perfectly. You can enjoy this delicious mushroom biryani with some nice raita by the side. For the masala, first I'm going to dry roast a few ingredients. For this, take a pan, add 1 tablespoon peanuts, 1 teaspoon poppy seeds, this is optional, 1 teaspoon sesame seeds, a few cashew nuts. You can also use almonds, that is badam, a few dried coconut slices, that is copra. Keep the flame on low and dry roast the ingredients. So roast these ingredients for about 5 minutes. You can see the coconut bits have turned to a nice golden color. Turn off the stove, keep this aside. To the pan, add 2 teaspoons of oil. For the masala paste, I'm going to brown 1 large onion which has been thinly sliced. Saute the onions till they're a nice golden brown color. The onions are nice and brown. Turn off the stove, keep this aside. To the mixer jar, add the roasted ingredients. To this, add the fried onions. Add a little water and grind it to a nice fine paste. So here you can see the masala is ground to a very nice fine paste. Keep this aside. I'm going to roast the eggs. To the pan, add 2 teaspoons of oil, quarter teaspoon turmeric powder. Keep the flame on low, 1 teaspoon chilli powder and half teaspoon salt. So I've boiled 6 eggs. I'm just going to make small slits around the egg. Make sure it's all completely coated with the spice powders. Turn off the stove and keep the eggs aside. To a nice wide pan or a kadai, add 3 tablespoons of oil. To the oil, add all the whole spices. Cinnamon, clove, cardamom, bay leaf. Add 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. Keep the flame on low. Add 1 whole teaspoon of ginger garlic paste. Keeping the flame on low, add the ground masala paste. So we're going to cook the paste first. I'm going to pour some water into the mixer jar and remove all the excess masala that's sticking to the mixer jar. To the masala paste, I'm going to add a few spice powders, starting with half teaspoon of turmeric powder, 2 teaspoons chilli powder, 1 teaspoon cumin powder, 1 teaspoon coriander powder, 1 teaspoon salt. Mix everything. Keep the flame on low, close the pan and cook for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you can see all the oil separating beautifully. So this has been cooking on low flame. Now I'm going to add the puree of 1 medium-sized tomato. Next, I'm going to add about 100 grams of whisked curd. Make sure it's nice and creamy, so that way you can avoid from curdling. Keep the flame on low and quickly mix it. Next, add half cup of water. So we need a nice gravy consistency. Close the pan and cook for about 10 minutes on low flame. Wow, you can see the oil has separated beautifully. The gravy is cooked nice and thick. Now I'm going to add the roasted eggs. So finally I'm going to garnish it with some sliced green chilies. I've taken about 3 green chilies sliced. This is going to give you a nice spice. Add some fresh mint leaves, a handful of fresh coriander leaves. Just gently mix it. Wow, the egg korma is coming together so beautifully. The aromas are fantastic. Close the pan and cook for about 5 minutes on low flame so the eggs can absorb all the flavors. After 5 minutes, open the pan. Wow, the Hyderabadi style egg korma looks fabulous. It's ready to be served. I'm serving this delicious Hyderabadi egg curry with these nice flaky parotas. Oreo cake, I've taken 3 120 grams of Oreo biscuits. That's a total of 360 grams. Now I'm going to separate the biscuits and the cream. So now I've separated the biscuits and the cream. I'm going to transfer the Oreo biscuits to a mixer jar and I'm going to powder it. Transfer the biscuit powder to a bowl. Next add half cup of sugar. Next to the bowl sieve 3/4 cup of Maida, that is all-purpose flour. To this add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Mix all the dry ingredients together. For this recipe, I've taken 1 cup of unsalted melted butter. This is a 250 ml cup. Just mix everything together. 1 cup of milk. This is boiled and cooled milk and it's a 250 ml cup. Make sure you beat the cake batter nicely for about a minute on high speed. So this is a nice smooth free flowing batter. Preheat the oven at 180 degrees for about 15 minutes. Line the cake tin with butter paper. Pour the prepared cake batter. Just smoothen the top so it's all even. Bake the cake for about 45 minutes to an hour at 180 degrees centigrade. The cake is baked beautifully. Cool the cake completely and then remove from the tin. For the buttercream frosting, I've taken 200 grams of unsalted softened butter. To the butter, add the Oreo cream. Beat the butter and the Oreo cream together for about a minute or so till you get this lovely, soft, creamy texture. Your buttercream frosting for the Oreo cake is done. Keep it aside. So I've taken 200 ml of fresh cream and 250 grams of dark sweet chocolate. This is cooking chocolate to make the ganache. Melt the chocolate along with the cream. Now you can see the ganache is ready. It's got a lovely smooth flowing ganache. Now I'm going to spread the buttercream frosting that I prepared onto one layer of the cake. Spread it generously onto one of the layers. Since we're making a nice big layer cake, I've made another Oreo cake. Place the next layer of cake on top of the cream. Take a little bit of the buttercream frosting. Just spread it around to fill all the little gaps. Now I'm going to pour the chocolate ganache over the cake. Pour it evenly on all sides so the cake is completely covered. Place the Oreo biscuits. I've removed the cream and I've placed 1/2 of the Oreo biscuits around the cake. I've taken the Oreo buttercream frosting in a piping bag and I'm going to decorate the cake. Now you can decorate the cake however you want. I've kept it nice and simple. Wow, the cake looks absolutely amazing. Now I'm going to cut the cake. You can see the beautiful layers in the cake with a rich Oreo buttercream frosting. It's a wonderful cake to try. Hope you guys enjoy the recipes. The home cooking channel has been growing slowly and steadily. Thank you all so very much for all your love and support. So if you guys like my recipes, please share them with your family and friends and continue to watch all my videos and continue to support us. Thank you all very much. Wish you all a very, very happy new year.